That used to be in like all of July when I played. You know what I mean? So you knew where that feeling was going. And when I last coached in college, I had that for them, and I felt a little bit better about that. This has been an ever-changing deal, and I think it's on me to feel that empathy and have that patience. Like that's how I want to coach. That's why I want to come play here. That's why I want to come commit to what we're doing because of those type of things.
Do you have the budget NIL-wise to do what you need to do, or do you have to kind of do it on a budget until you can grow it and then go from there?
I think we can do what we need to do right now. I think that more is always better. I think in our world right now, what we have is enough. Because we have Iona. That's my thing. We have the people, we have the support, we have the energy. I think this is where I'm at, and what Dr. Carey and I talked about at length, and Matt and I talked about at length. Like we're here, we're ready to do this thing. Obviously, we think we're the best program in the MAC. I think we're the best player development program in the country. That's where we can get a lot of these different players to get better faster and put this blend together.
Obviously, the goal is to get back to the tournament like Coach Patino and Coach Cruz were doing, right?
Yes. So yes.
For sure. Do it next year?
We're hoping. I'll let you know in about a month.
After you get your master.
I'm Guy Falatico, class of 91, IronHoops.com.
Yes.
I've heard some names offline that you guys are pursuing in the portal.
Sure.
How do you go after high major type players and bring them to a place like Iona? How do you sell them on?
Yeah, I mean, do you want to play in the NBA? I know a guy. I think that's a big thing for me is like we're developing and we're just coming from that. Pat Wallace said it today. We were joking around. He's like, 20 days ago I was in the NBA. You know what I mean? We were right there. We were working out the same guys and doing the same workouts that we're going to be able to do here and play a very similar style. We're going to be spaced. We're going to really evaluate the decision making. We're going to have a lot of people in our gym too. I'll be remiss to say we're going to have more scouts in here. We already had direct VP of strategy from the Wizards already, walking around a little, just with me, walking around, seeing everything. Those are my friends. This is a real thing. These are real relationships that I'm bringing from the NBA to Iona. So to me, high major player, yeah, sure, I think you can go to another high major school. You can try another mid major. But if you want to get better faster, and you want to do it with the connections and the relationships to the NBA, we're probably the right spot for the fastest growth there.
You see a trend? I mean, Florida State, Utah, you guys have all hired NBA assistants.
Yep. Yeah. I think we're interested. Yeah. I would say I'm the only one that was not an alum. So that's I actually love that we're being unique and forward thinking.
Right.
When you're hiring, to me, you're hiring your alum, you're energizing the fan base. Our fan base is good. We're energized.
Yeah.
We want to be really good. You know what I mean? I understand that.
Yeah.
So I think that's where I would eventually say I think you'll be reporting on more NBA assistants becoming college head coaches in the near future.
You guys are learning as you're going. What's your biggest concern as you move forward here?
That's a great question. I think biggest concern would be playing style-wise that I'll be a little bit too much process-oriented. That's what the NBA is. You can be extremely process-oriented in the game. I think I need to do a great job of being present, being mentally prepared for what I need to do in-game. I think that's where I'm at in my biggest idea of what I need to approach, approve upon, and execute as fast as possible.
And
thanks, I appreciate you. Yeah.
One thing that happens, I think, a lot of schools, so we've seen it that have had a lot of turnover in rosters, is that it just takes a while to find yourselves. Maybe systems are too complicated, and maybe some coaches are trying to simplify what they do. Do you have that in mind? We don't know how many players you're going to have that are brand new, but everybody's going to be brand new to you. Are you going to kind of go with not a simpler system, but a different way of teaching what you want to do?
I think my history of the last decade would say you have to get on the court with them one-on-one as much as possible. So I think this summer we're going to be so emphasis-driven, pushing the routines for a lot of our individual workouts. Listen, I understand that a decade ago when I left college basketball, I understand the team building, the camaraderie. There's nothing better than sweat equity on the court with your coaches and your players. There's nothing better. Maybe we're going to manufacture some dinners and things like that, but you got to manufacture these relationships fast. Yep. That's what we do in the NBA. It's one mini camp in August, and we're hitting the ground running. For me, we'll have time here, we'll have patience, I need to learn my players like individually, like a lot. What pushes them? What drives them? Sure, when you're recruiting them for 2 days, they can tell you everything. You can tell them everything. Once they commit, once they get here, we're going to be so dialed in on what that needs to look like for our guys individually.
Chuck Donegan, CamVets Media. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, do you think it's more challenging to be a coach now than when you were a college player?
No. I think it's different. You know, I think I'm very open-minded in how this is going to look. I'm hopeful as we continue all of our relationships, you'll realize how patient of a human I am and how this goes about, how we need to really think about the players and think about what they're going through a lot more than I think a lot of coaches give them credit for. I think for me, I'm used to this. You know, I think, yeah, if I was going to stand here and parade around saying this is going to be a 4-year program and we're going to graduate 1,000 APR and everything's going to look great, that's hard. That probably is hard, you know. I think we can get there. It's going to look a little different than what college basketball's looked like ever.
Hi, Elizabeth Rickiel, IUTV.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. In a program that has had a lot of turnover in the past few years, how are you hoping to keep the audience base, the fan base engaged with a whole new coaching staff?
Yeah, no, I think that's a great question. I want to be here for a long time. If I was really about what's next, I probably wouldn't be here. I probably would have stayed in my previous job 20 days ago. I want to be here for a long time. I can feel this place. And honestly, my college coach is here. It feels like Richmond. It feels like a place you want to raise your family. It feels like a place you want to be here and help change the landscape of a university as they're building towards something bigger than they ever thought they could be. Where, you know, we buy the Bronxville campus, we become a university. That stuff means so much to a community. And where I'm headed and what I'm thinking about for your question is because I want to be here for a long time. I want to create this stability, not only for all of us and all of our community and our fans, but for our players too. Yeah, for sure.
Have you met any players yet?
Yes.
What are some of your expectations, actually, aside from winning?
Yeah. No, I think the funny part of the players was a couple of them asked me, like, how are you evaluating us? You were just scouting for the coaching in the NBA. You know what I mean? Like, what is that? You know. But I think a big thing for me is understanding what they're going through, what season they just had, how their season ended. You know what I mean? Like where they were at. I think a lot of what I'm doing with them is individual meetings with them. We're doing group workouts and putting some of our, I would say, concepts in. You know what I mean? It wouldn't be like our system or anything like that. I think it's about letting them enjoy this process, trying to get to know me as fast as possible so we can make correct decisions.
All good?
All right.